Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's intraday analysis video, brought to you by the creators of proprietary price, pattern, and time methodology. Learn the PPT strategies and profit for life. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, guys, into the action we go today on this Thursday, July 18th, 2013. S&P's up 9, Dow up 85, Nasdaq is up about 4.5. Nasdaq is lagging today primarily because of these two stocks. Intel is down about 90 cents after earnings yesterday, and eBay is getting smoked today, down about $4, trading near the lows of the day on earnings. So both stocks very negative on earnings. On the other hand, the Dow component IBM is having a good day off of earnings, up almost $4. Now, it's off its highs of the day, but again, it's interesting how depending on which index these stocks are in, those are the ones that underperform or outperform. Okay, so be interesting again to see how that all plays out. But in any case, bottom line is S&P 500 is up, SPY up $1 here. We are, interestingly enough, just trading underneath the double top high. You have to go all the way back. Look at how far you have to go back. All the way back to the May 21st time frame. All right, May 21st, we hit the 169.07 line. Today, we pushed through it early on, and then a nice sell came in, and now we're kind of fighting back to that level. So, on a short-term basis, I'm very curious to see where this comes through. Do we end up closing above it or below it? I'm watching that very, very closely, folks. Now, volume again today is ridiculously light. It's 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time right now. We've done 66 million. Right, again, this week, I said this in yesterday's free video, is turning out to be the lightest week of the year when you take all the volumes. It is unbelievably light for 2013, especially for options X213. In addition, if you take a look at what factors we have Ben Bernanke talking the last few days. You have plenty of earnings going on. To see this little volume, it's almost eerily scary. Because if the good news from earnings that's driving the markets up a little bit and the good news from the Bernanke is not really getting more big institutional buyers on board, granted, I mean, respect the markets for going up. I tip my cap to the markets. I bow my head to the markets. Good job, markets, for going up. But the problem is when you don't have big boys pushing it up and it's just the small investor buying in little by little, putting some of their money to work, that's a scary scenario. Very, very scary scenario. So we'll have to continue to follow things and see how it all plays out. Now, I do have a couple trade alerts for you guys today. I will go over them shortly, but before we do that, let's just take a quick look at some of the bigger movers today. The USO, which is oil, having a nice day, although it is coming in off its highs. Nice move there on the USO. GLD today is up slightly, up 87 cents, and the SLV, which is the silver ETF, up 13 cents on the day, while the dollar is trading flat on the day, up 5 cents only. All right, so really oil's having another move up. We're at multi-month highs, even multi-year highs almost on oil. I think we hit $108 a barrel today. That will eventually be a drag on the economy, but short term it's not that big of a deal. The one thing I think a lot of traders are missing are small cap oil stocks. And I gave this to my members earlier today, IVAN at 93 cents. It's at 95 cents now, but to me this makes perfect sense. I mean, if you look at the daily chart, look at this. All right, beautiful little bullish consolidation. And again, I've already given this to my members, so be aware of that. And they're in at 93 cents. Is at 95 cents. But, I mean, that's a beautiful bullish consolidation breakout above the 20 MA beginning here. I love the volume today. This has a lot of keys to a possible move up. The other sector I like are the shipping stocks. I'm keeping a close eye on the shipping stocks. If you look at what the economic news has been today, which has been decently positive. If you look at oil price, which is good for shippers, usually it means there's more economic activity out there. If you look at the one sector or sectors that hasn't really run with the market and isn't at 52-week highs, the shippers would be that sector. Take a look at dry ships today, guys. It's not a big move, but makes you wonder. It's really starting to get a nice move up here. Peregrine is another one. PRGN, let me punch up that one. Nice pop up, 19 cents on the J. GNK having a good move up, 14. Now, again, these aren't breaking out yet or breaking out in a big way, but to me, these are on high alert for a possible trade in the future because, again, these shipping stocks have been beaten down. As long as the market stays strong, eventually you got to think that these things take off with a vengeance. Okay? So we will keep an eye on that very, very closely in the coming days and so forth, okay? What else do we have here, guys? Let's see what else we have on the charts. JPM financials are having a big day. JPM new all-time, well, I shouldn't say new all-time highs, but a new 52-week highs minimally. That stock is trading above this pivot high right here, which is 56 and change. If we go to the monthly chart, let's just see exactly where the high was. I think there was a high actually up here to about the 59 and change level. There's a tail up here. So my guess is ultimately that is most likely where JP Morgan is heading over the next month or so. You got to figure that at this point it's so close to that level it's going to get drawn to it like a magnet. Okay, so interesting thing there. Goldman Sachs is having a decent day, up $2.61. If we go to the chart right here, this stock has not taken out the 52-week highs, but again, this will be your double top level right here. I do expect a little resistance there if it gets up to that level. That's the 168.20 level. Chevron today is having a decent day, up $1.25, continues to grind higher. You got to tip your cap to that one, although not surprising considering oil continues to go up. Oil just slowly inching up is very good for these stocks right now. Now, if oil goes up too much, eventually it will be bad because it'll hurt demand, but I don't think we're at that point yet with these stocks. You're not aware. I mean, if oil hits like 120, 130, then I think that's really where the stocks probably start to sell off when oil goes up. But right now, it's actually a benefit for the S&P and the Dow as these stocks will be lifted, and that helps the whole index get lifted as well. Amazon is getting a hit today, is taking a hit today, although it's well off its lows. This stock, again, down about 318. It's had a monstrous run. Looks like it might be beginning to consolidate on the daily chart there. If you ignore, and even if as long as you have the tail there and it's not a body, the pattern still technically is holding because you have this low of the first candle kind of sideways. And again, if we take this upper level here, you can make a case that that's all sideways inside bar action. So it does warrant us keeping a close eye on Amazon. Amazon earnings, I believe, are next week. Now, today we have big earnings, folks. Big earnings today of, let's take a look, Microsoft. Microsoft reports earnings. That stock is down into earnings, which makes me think there's a decent chance it could be up a little bit on earnings. Also, Google is the big boy. Google is down to $4, but this is at 52-week all-time highs right here. So who knows how this one plays out? But again, Google today at near these highs, down a little bit on the day, but still impressive move. Any way you cut it, impressive move on Google over the last multi-month period, along with most other stocks out there that continue to trade at all-time highs. Tesla today, Tesla, which we played as a short right here. This was a great short. We shorted it here and covered it right down in this area. It bounced back huge yesterday. It's actually holding up. Had an initial dip this morning. Is bouncing back today, but ultimately I'd like to see this go higher and then reshort it. For me, reshorting would come in right around the 127 level. If you get to 127, which is a gap fill right there, you have to think that that's a pretty powerful shorting area if it is achieved on a straight shot up here. Okay, what else do we have out there? Is there anything else I want to mention? Let's see here. Apple's trading up $2.50. Really nothing big there. I mean, Apple, that's really not that great of a move. It's an okay move for Apple, but considering the markets are up decently, it's a very small move on a $433 stock. Baidu's having a good day. This Baidu move continues after pulling back off that gap up. This has continued to move higher. You have to think that your next level of resistance is up here, folks. So in terms of a swing trade short on Baidu, this most likely will be your point of interest, which is 114 and change. Okay? All right. I think that's about it for me today. Let me just go back to the SPY. SPY is, interestingly enough, just right underneath that trend line, which marks the all-time high prior to today's pierce of it. And this is going to be an interesting close for me, folks. Volume is dead light, so you really don't expect any selling. But the question is how much of buying can come in. Do we have more of a pause where it doesn't get above that level, or do we have a big push at the end of the day, which is possible, that closes us at a new all-time high on the SPY? Very important to watch. I will be analyzing it to members here in the Research Center. Take your 7-day free trial. Come join us, join the Elite Pros, and let's profit for life. Take care, guys.